My name is Kalina Mikolajczak. I'm a docent and a researcher at the Hazard University of Applied Sciences. I'm teaching statistics and quantitative research to IB students, and I'm also doing research for Healthy Region Research Group. I think that's the responsibility that you receive and the kind of independence of what you're doing is very important for me. The fact that you have the trust from other teachers, from your coordinators to what you're doing, to the fact that you might be an independent teacher and you're doing your job very well, it's very important to me. So I think that's the thing that I appreciate the most. Whoa, that's a tricky question. Why it's a tricky question? Because I don't really force my students to do the assignments. So I will always check whether the students are doing them or not, but it will always be more on a it will always be more of their choice whether they do the exercises or assignments that I give them or they don't do it. If I have to be honest, it was not really my purpose to be at HZ University of Applied Sciences. I've been teaching in the beginning at the University of Brussels before for 6 years, and then I was doing research then as well, but I also have my psychological practice at home. So the decision was made, and I decided to do more teaching, less research, and still keep my practice. So I started to look for a job. The first job that I found, which really fit and suit my situation, it was just part-time teaching, so I had a little bit more freedom to doing my practice at home, was in Breda University of Applied Sciences, but my contract stopped after 2 years, and because there was no possibility to prolong that contract, they called the University of Applied Sciences in Vlissingen, and they said that they might be interested in me. The question was also asked whether I was interested in that, and I really like to teach in smaller universities as compared to these big universities, because probably you also as students experience that it's less of being a number and really more being about the interaction with the students, the personal touch, and I really like that. So definitely I wanted to stay. Now it's my 3rd year here. Definitely, I have lots of hobbies. I very much like gardening, so I really do love to do that. I have a tiny little vegetable garden where I spend lots of time, especially in the summer. But my biggest hobby is jogging. So I'm a runner, so that's something that I will always find time for, do at least 3 times a week, some jogging to, refresh. So maybe a little background information is that I'm teaching just 1 day in a week. So at the current situation, I'm teaching quantitative research. What I do, I've been teaching this already for a few years, so what I have to do is preparing for this course in the way that I every year try to go through the slides again, go through the slides with the eyes of the students, keeping in mind the questions that I had the previous time and things that might not be very clear to them, so that in this way I just adjust the slides that I have and maybe support them with some more examples. I wanted to be a psychologist and this is what I became. So it's really funny. Probably when I was a little girl, probably I want to be a singer. That's also something that I remember. But you know, as far as I remember, I always wanted to be a psychologist. It's a dream that came true, and it's still like this. I did not imagine myself as being a teacher, although I think lots of children really have this dream of being a teacher in a certain period of time. But that was not something I really thought I would become. It just grew like this, and I'm very happy still in this role. So. Oh yes, I did. The University of Antwerp. There was a student who is now a player of Club Bruges. Do you know that? Okay. Brugge. Yeah. It was a very good student. It's not that I have seen him a lot in the classes, because definitely he didn't really have time for that, but he also had to schedule an exam separately, so I made a little movie with him to send to all my friends who were really interested in seeing him, because he was just a rising star. And I have to say that I don't even remember at this moment his name, because it was a few years ago, and I'm not that fan of football, so